So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Oh, I've no idea what happened there in the middle of everything. But it seems like I'm on. Anyway, everybody, welcome to Aston Villa versus Bruges in our team sheet tantrum. And the teams are out. Maybe that's why. It doesn't seem to want to show up on the screen. So here we go. Teams are already out. Sorry, I was kind of a bit unawares by that. I was waiting for the intro music to finish up. But we have Martinez in goals, Cash, Konza, Mings, Maatsen, McGinn, Kamara, Tielemans, Rashford, Rodgers, and Watkins. And yet again, we still wait for Asensio and Rashford and Rodgers to start up front together. But on the bench, we have Robin Olsen, Oli Ziyech, we have Disasi, Pau Torres, we have Lamar Bogard, Luca Dean, Amadou Onana returning back to the fold. We have Leon Bailey, Marco Asensio, and we have Jacob Ramsey as well. So, listen, look, I suppose all in all, that's a really, really strong team and a really strong bench. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anybody that's out, but it is great to see Kamara back in the team there. And maybe if we are going with McGinn up that top of the right, Rashford top of the left, and Rodgers through the middle with Tielemans and Kamara holding there, I think that is a pretty strong team. I think by anyone's measure, that's a pretty strong team that Villa have put out today against Bruges. Because look, the carrot is really there, knowing our opponents knowing our potential opponents in the quarterfinal, should we get past Bruges today, is huge. And that's something that I think will be going through Unai Emery's mind as well. He wants to get this game done, keeping it tight, I suppose, at home, maybe even getting an early goal. And I think that team is more than capable of that early goal. Rashford has to score at some stage, and I'm going to make a prediction later. And spoiler alert, it is going to involve Rashford scoring. I think, and for me, I think that this is a nice team that he's put out with the ability to have Cash and Maatsen go a bit further forward, Kamara to sit in, and obviously McGinn, Tielemans, Rashford, Rodgers, and all those guys to patrol that area behind Watkins as well. Let's take a little look at at some of your comments there. Oh, first of all, thanks a million to Kurt for the super chat. Really appreciate that, Kurt. Thanks a million. And Kurt also says, "Hey Neil, here's a kicker for you. I can't make the game again due to ill health, but we'll sell my UCL ticket back to the club. Apparently, but you can't sell your UCL ticket back to the club. Apparently, it's a Premier Game season ticket holder, and I can't get my €79 back." That's amazing, Kurt. I don't know how I pile about that, but that is crazy if you weren't able to sell it back to the club. And as far as I'm aware, you wouldn't even be able to sell it on to somebody that you know as well. Or maybe you can. Maybe that's been rectified now, but I know I heard of somebody who had a bit of an issue selling on a ticket for a Champions League game to a relation of his, so I'm not quite 100% sure. Well, hope you get better soon, Kurt. Really do. And listen, hopefully Villa can go away and win this one for you tonight as well. Rossa asks, has anyone ran into Paddy in the pubs yet? Paddy, I think, Paddy was cutting it fine. He was getting his flight today, I think around 3 o'clock or 2:30 or that way. Not cutting it fine, but he's not over there all day, so I'd say he's only been in and around the pubs maybe since about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So you're probably going to catch him now when you get in there as well. Paul Johnson is nervous about this one. I think you're right to be nervous. I think anybody who is nervous is deadly right to be nervous about this one, because Villa don't usually do things the easy way, albeit tonight could be the night that they go and they buck that trend, and we have an uneventful game, and I hope that is the case today as well. Carragher saying on the overlap that he hopes PSG go on to win it now. Well, look, I suppose a lot of people would say that when your team is beaten by a team, you kind of people almost feel the gentlemanly thing to say is, I hope they go on and win it now. And he probably does hope they go on to win it, because he probably doesn't think that Villa are going to, or Villa or Bruges, whoever gets through, will cause them much hassle. And look, time will tell that tale if that is the case. And hopefully it is Aston Villa that gets the chance to upset the apple cart there as well. David Dwyer says, didn't see that result coming last night, which makes me a bit nervous. I did. I actually felt that PSG were like watching the first leg, PSG were by far the better team. And last night was just an absolute banger of a game. I loved it. It was back and forth. Both teams had their purple patches. And look, PSG have an extremely talented and young team there as well. I think a lot of people kind of slept. I won't say slept on them, but I think a lot of people expected them to take a back step maybe after, going from Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar to Barcola, Ousmane Dembele, and Cavani. And the other side is some people might have seen that as a step down, but the fluidity at which they attack. And I'll tell you something, João Neves is some player in the middle of that park. Himself and Vitinha have an incredible relationship in the middle of the park, and he's only 20 years of age. João Neves, he's a cracking player, and he's someone that Villa, should they get through, are going to need to. They're going to need to marshal him in both sides of the ball, both defense and attack. I'm super impressed by him. Michael Hogan says he's on his way to Villa Park. Brilliant stuff, Michael. Roar the team on to victory, and I hope we get the result for you today. Where are we? Neil has a bear and a dog. So man, I have both. I've more teddy bears than you could shake a stick at just over here as well, which I'm not going to bring any of them on screen at the moment, but take my word for it there as well. Brian Kavanagh says we're gone pretty attacking. Unai wants to blow them away early, I think. Well, absolutely. I think that is definitely the case. But I think what he wants to do is, I think he'll have learned from that game in Bruges, where he wants to pin back Maxime Kuipers. He wants to pin back Sabe. And I haven't got their team up. Let me see if I can get... Oh, remove myself from the stage there. Let me put myself in here. Jesus. StreamYard? Yeah, StreamYard is acting the magnet tonight, so bear with me on that one. Let me get up the Club Bruges team. But what I think he wants to do is, I think he wants to kind of keep them, especially when they're away from home, he wants to keep them honest. He wants to keep Kuipers, if he's playing, honest. And I can't seem to find their team. Yeah, they don't have their team up on Twitter just yet. Let me see if I can find it on... I'm sure it's on Who Scored. We'll find it there just to see. But he wants to keep them back, keep them honest, and make sure that they're the ones that are worrying about us or looking after what we have to do, as opposed to the vice versa and the opposite way around. Preview lineups. That's probable lineups. Okay, sorry guys, this isn't great. Isn't great podcasting, so just bear with me a moment, and I should be able to find this here. I'm sure you guys probably have it in the comments already as I'm messing around with this. Lineups. Okie dokie, yeah. So we have the lineups there. Yeah. So they have gone with, and I'll share this up here. It's on SofaScore, so I'm sure you guys already see it. So nope, not the correct one. Stop screen sharing, and as I told you, StreamYard is acting the maggot tonight, so just bear with me on that one now. So what we have here is, and very small, so I'll try and zoom in there. Forget it. Nothing is working for me tonight. No, I've just completely messed up my own screen. So what they have is Mignolet in goals, Sabe, Ordonez, Mekele, and De Kuiper, as we saw last day. Jashiri and Onyeka, as we saw last day. Talbi, Vanaken, and Tazolis, as we saw last day, in Jukla. Yeah, so they haven't changed anyone from the last day, whereas we've obviously made some changes to our team. And look, as I say, I think as Dortmund have just equalised against Lille, I think that what Unai wants is Matty Cash and Maatsen to push up a small bit further. Kamara to kind of hunker in here, potentially in that middle area between the two centre halves here, and try and create a bit more of a wall across here. Keep their fullbacks back slightly, and also put manners on these two boys here, and on Onyedika and Jashiri, because as I said last day, and I felt last day, should I say, Yashiri was man of the match for me in the first leg. I just thought he was brilliant. And you probably want to put manners in him and put manners in this lad here as well. Make sure that they can't, influence the game because we pile up that area there. What that should do then, obviously, is, and the reason I think that's going to be the case is John McGinn being here then allows him to float in between that area of Kamara. If Kamara does go back into the centre half position, McGinn can always come back, and Cash has a free rein up along here to completely exploit that wing here, because you want to keep their big man here, Maxime de Kuiper, back. He's a Belgian international. He scored the goal the last day. He's just a really good player for them, and he's a really influential player from left back for them. And a lot of things come through him, a lot of their attacks, a lot of their crosses, a lot of their dangerous play comes from him. So I presume what they want to do is they want to put up a blockade in front of him there with McGinn and Cash, allowing Kamara to go back into the centre half position and begin to roam around in that kind of diagonal area of beside Tielemans up to the area here where I feel that Matty Cash will occupy a higher starting spot up here as well. And potentially Maatsen will do exactly the same. So we will probably end up seeing a 3-4-3 formation at times when we're in build-up play, when we're trying to build up with Rodgers maybe pulling to the right a small bit more, Rashford to the left, obviously with Ollie Watkins up top. And look, we'll see how it works. I think that it's pretty smart. Look, 9 times out of 10 before a game, I will always think that it's going to be smart, and I can see the reason for these guys being picked here. Maatsen is a bit of a bolter for me with this one. I'm expecting big things from him. I'm expecting him to play well in this game, and hopefully he goes out there and puts in his best performance this season, and we can comfortably, hopefully, keep on to our 2-0 or 2-goal lead, should I say, and progress to the next round as well. So, going to come back here to some of your comments here, guys. Techno Obliterator says, I would much rather we gone defensive, to be honest. Now I'm going to be on edge all game, unless we score first. If we score a goal first, well, then maybe, we might be able to ride that one out, I think. I think we will be able to ride it out if we get a goal first, should I say. So what else there is? Melty Shirt says, anyone know which players are at risk of suspension with another yellow? Thought I heard a couple were. I know that Disassi was one. But there is a couple of guys. If VFC Stato is in the comments, maybe he might be able to shed some light on that. And talking of VFC Stato, Dalian Stackinson, as I have christened him, if you stick on after here, you will be thrown directly into his live stream as well for his watch along. So hopefully that is something that you guys like, and that Dale will be able to. Dale and his dulcet Welsh tones will be able to take you through the 90 minutes. Hopefully it won't be more than 90 minutes. It'll just be 90 minutes of Aston Villa action versus Club Brugge tonight, as I just make sure that I am actually going to be able to throw you into his stream, just making sure, yes, everything is all done there. So getting back to our comments here as well, Steve Berry says, Watkins will be man of the match tonight. I'd absolutely love it. I hope he does. I hope he gets a couple of more, even one more Premier or Champions League goal would be great for him. I think goals are something that he going on a run of goal scoring is something that would be great for him towards the end of the season. Confidence up, getting him back into that vein that he was in at the end of last season and the end of the season before, whereby he was kind of shooting instinctively as opposed to waiting for chances to materialize. And he got some really good goals from that. You think of the goal back against Chelsea, and you just think of his goal for England against the Netherlands last year as well. Sometimes he can get inside in his head, and no one denies that or anything, but we want him to be the best striker he possibly can be and to score as many goals for Aston Villa as he can. So hopefully he does get man of the match today. Danny Harvey asks, Maatsen seems like an interesting choice, but his link up at Rashford was good last time out. And once again, I think the team is designed to transition fast, and I think this team is designed to try and get early goals, and I hope that is the case as well. Hopefully it doesn't leave spaces behind and lead to us conceding early as well. Where else are we? Neil, why is the Sazi dropped? What is Emery at? Come on. I don't know. Is the answer? I do not know why he was dropped. I thought, like as I mentioned before, he was absolutely brilliant against Brentford, and these are games that he can play in. I don't know, considering that we've got a less amount of games coming up. We only have this game, and then we've got Preston, and then we've got 2 weeks off essentially. So yeah, I don't know. I wish I did. I wish I did know. Kevin Newey says, not sure about the fullbacks, but fingers crossed we march on. Yeah, look, I think it's I think people are Matt, I suppose Matty Cash's injuries and stuff like that for me. I agree with people about Maatson, currently, because Digne is so solid. Like he's arguably Digne could be in Team of the Year for the Premier League. And I know people will have maybe Anthony Robinson or other left backs up there. But few of them have been more consistent, even in games where we've lost or drawn, or games that we should have won that we didn't win. It was never really Luke Dean's fault, and he's just so stable and so solid that is that's why I would have him in the team week in, week out. But he's 32 years of age, and I suppose that could be something that could have bearing in this. On the Matty Cash side, for me, the injuries, yes, are something that I would have to query massively. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of him as an attacking right back, and I know a lot of people are probably correctly harbour some trepidation with him with regards to penalties given away. But Matty Cash, I think this year has been pretty good when he's played. Arguably, he's been better when he's come off the bench, and he's been tasked with seeing a game out. But let's see what he does today. Again, Disasi for me is like he played brilliantly the last against Brentford, and I am a bit surprised that he's not starting there for sure. I think for sure. Noel Connaughton with the mantra of do not concede early, do not concede early, do not concede early. That's you can say that again. And we have had a Paddy sighting, Joe Buran. Good Paddy, good man, should I say, Joe? I've seen Paddy in the Aston Inn. I could have nearly put money on where Paddy was, to be honest with you. I could have put good money on it that would be the first and probably only place he would go to as well. Michael O'Brien says Mings and Konsa is the most solid defensive partnership. I think so too. I think so. I'm a lot of people, and look, it's a fair comment. Like as I say, we rarely have people here who are talking nonsense in the comments. We rarely do, and this is another fair comment. That people would have saying, "Can Mings do it 3 weeks or 3 games in a week?" Well, we are now going to find out, and I think that he can. And if he can't, we've got Pau Torres on the bench that can come in there. So we have the horses are back in good fettle again. So but I expect Tyrone Mings to be imperious again back there tonight, and I expect his body to hold up, and I expect the sports scientists will know exactly what they're at and not overload him from that point of view. But as we have seen in the past, you'd expect that to be the case with every player, but I suppose it's not an exact sports science. It can only be as close as they can make it. Yet anyway, should I say. I'm going to scroll down here a small little bit. A couple of people asking anybody in danger of suspension. I'm not sure, but I did read somewhere that there was about 3 players that were in danger of suspension as well. And I think one of them was Luca Dean. Ms. Melty Shirt says here, I think Dean yellow away from suspension. I think you're right with regards to that, but once again, I'm not 100% sure. A lot of people are saying Rashford scored today. A couple of people are saying that he's going to score. As Stato says as well, come and join me. The Church of Stato, or AVFC Windsor, as he's going to change his name to, because as people have said to him a lot of times today, stats don't matter. The only stat that matters is wins and points. So I'm reliably informed that he's having his name changed to one of 2 things: AVFC Football didn't begin in 1992, or AVFC Windsor. They're one of the 2 things that he's going to be changing his name to, I think, from now on. But I see Lionel again says Rashford is opening his Villa account tonight. I absolutely hope he does. I'm kind of at the stage where I hope he doesn't hug the left touchline. I kind of want to see him coming in centrally a small bit more. I'd love to see Ian Maatson get up that left wing and Ollie Watkins come near post, Rashford go into the centre, Maatsen cut a ball back to Rashford at the edge of the penalty area, and Rashford stick it in the back of the net. Because I think, obviously, look, Rashford is famous for his good movement. Like he's got some really good movement as with the ball at his feet and not with the ball at his feet as well. And I think you could manufacture something that way. As he comes inside, you've got the pace of Maatsen, who gets to the byline a bit more. You know, Luca Dean is a stand and deliver type of left back. He likes to cross the ball, likes to cross from a bit deeper. Maatsen can maybe do an Alex Moreno impression, get in by the end line, cross that ball back, and Ollie Watkins obviously coming to the front post and Rashford sneaking in behind onto the penalty area and knocking into the back of the net. I hope we see something tonight from him. I hope we see more of him on the ball. I feel that the last two games he's played, not that he hasn't played well, but we just haven't fed him the ball enough, if that makes sense. And I kind of want to see his workload increased. I want us to use him for the you know the player that he is. I want us to see, like, I'm okay. Like the usage he's had at the moment is okay for, and this isn't denigrating Jacob Ramsey, but it's okay for Jacob Ramsey. But I'd like us to see. I'd like to see us flog him. I'd like to see us give him the ball, make things happen, and you know, if he's going to be the superstar as a superstar within this team, well, let's see it happen. I don't think over the last two games we've really fed him enough. He's gotten some good statistics out of them, but some of those you kind of find out after the game, as opposed to kind of in the game going, oh my God, Rashford is on one tonight. He's having an absolute sparkler. And I want to see something like that from him. It's not that he's playing poorly. I think sometimes we don't feed him enough. And let's try it tonight. Let's feed him again. I said the last day against this young fullback that I thought we would do it. We didn't. And the young fullback played really, really well. I want us to go back to the well tonight and feed Rashford. And let's use our 400,000 a week man today. And let's, you know, let us put him in the position where he scored, you know, 20 goals a season or over 20 goals a season before. And let's get him on the score sheet for Aston Villa, because I think there will be, I think the roof will come off Villa Park tonight if Marcus Rashford scores, because I think every Aston Villa fan, we're in a waiting pattern and a holding pattern for him to do it. And hopefully tonight is the night. Where are we? I think I missed PSK. PSK, I missed a chat you had in there earlier. I can't find it now. Sorry about that, man. I haven't seen you in the comments in a while. I hope you're doing well. Where else are we? I'm just scrolling through here, guys. Apologies if I miss any of your comments, but I'm about 4 or 5 minutes behind those anyway as well. Jake Aston Villa says, good to see Kamara back tonight, although it was a hard-fought win against Brentford. A fit Kamara from the start just offers us so much more control in the match. Shame we can't clone him. We can't clone him yet. They will have the technology. As I remember, the Dolly the Sheep last for that long afterwards, because we kind of only need Kamara for the next year or two anyway. You know, save on PSR. I don't know, is there anything? Do UEFA have any rules written in against artificially created players? I've no idea. Maybe it might be worth a route. Maybe it might. Hey, if you've got 100 million in a transfer budget, how's about you put 100 million towards artificial cloning of players and research towards it? Do a documentary on it, like The Fly or something like that. I think I'm onto something here. I definitely think I'm onto something. Barry Sutton. Barry Sutton. Hi, Neil. I haven't got a chance to listen in ages in live. Good to hear your voice being back to normal. Yeah, it took about 4 or 5 weeks, Barry, but it got there in the end. And Jake Aston Villa, Dolly the Sheep for a new mascot. Well, it'd make a change, because we don't even have a mascot now, because Hercules hasn't been seen around the ground in months, years, as far as I'm led to believe. So it'd be great to have that. It'd be absolutely great to have a mascot. Never mind Dolly the Sheep. And if it has to be Dolly the Sheep, then, as Chris Simpson says here, sheep's one of our own. Sheep's one of our own. Dolly the Sheep is one of our own. Right, guys, I'm going to have to leave it here. I've got a baby monitor here beside me, and I need to get indoors once more, get myself sorted for the game. Daddy duty's still on the list here at the moment. But if everybody wants to start putting in their scores, we'll do a rundown of the scores there, and we'll try and get you guys all settled in front of your TVs, or settled in the stadium, or settled in front of a nice fire inside in your local pub, or wherever the hell you're going. Wherever you're going, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope Villa give you all the happiness going into tonight, because we don't want this to be a horrible hump day. We want this to be a happy hump day as well. So here we go. We've got some scores coming in. Ethan McDonough is going with 3-1, and Flange, good to see you, is going with 2-1 as well. Or 2-1, should I say. V for Villains going 2-all. Captain Nuggets going 3-0. Dalian Stackinson going for 2-1. Gary Crook going for 3-1. Lewis Fryer going for 1-all. Sea Line I 2-1. Dickie's going for a 0-0. A tense one. John Steele is going for 2-1. Garrett McDonough is going 2-1. Peter is going for 1-0. Kevin Newey is going for 1-0 as well. Chris is going for 1-0. A business-like performance. 3-1 says David O'Dwyer. The Bladnator is going 7-8, and we win 10-9 on aggregate. Okay, do you know what? That'd be an enjoyable game, because we'd still come out as winners. Jake Aston Villa is saying everybody's cheery tonight until we go 1-0 down. Typical Villa. Sewer Sound says 2-1. Jonathan Glettel is going for a Rashford brace and a 2-1 win. Steve is going for 3-0. CO Productions going for 2-0. Ty is going for 2-0. Grindy 2-1 Villa. Rich is going for 4-2. Wassive, nearly fell for that one, is going for 2-1. Jordan Levy's going for 2-1. Declan Bagnall is going 2-0. Jean is going for 1-all. Caroline is going for 2-0. Junior is going for 2-1. Shooting Street 2-1. Jake 3-1. Audrey is going for 3-1. Brendan's going 3-0. Unai is going for 1-all. You heard it here first. 4-0 says Sophie. 2-2 says Osgerm. 2-0 says Ratters. Be Happy says 3-1. Where are we? More scores. Technobliterator says, really wanted it to have been a 2-0. Just want a clean sheet. Would have taken a little, but I don't see it now. 3-2. Andy Hilly's going for 1-1. Peter Still is going for 2-2. Owen McMahon is going with 1-0. Frank is going for 5-0. Dean Blackwood is going 2-1. The converted Villa Fanatic says 3-0, and Cash says 1-0. PSK is going for 2-0. 2-1 says Andrew Monroe. John the Johnny, good to see you, John. I hope you're feeling all good. 2-2 says John. 1-0 says PD. Paul is saying 7-0 to Villa, and Barry Newman says 2-2 to a great game of football. Because everyone's a winner at 2-2 except Aston Villa go through to the next round. So I got to run off very, very quickly, very bluntly, and I don't mean to just run away like that, but I have to. So thanks very much, everybody, for watching and listening. Give it a thumbs up, share it out. Be the best boys and best girls that you possibly can be. And you know what? Go away and enjoy this game tonight. We will be back at full-time whistle. We'll either be crying with laughter or crying with complete and utter dejection tonight, and hopefully it is the first one as opposed to the second one. But go away and enjoy this game, soak it up. Champions League quarter-final, we may never get there ever again. Nothing is given and nothing is granted, so enjoy this tonight. Try not to be nervous when the game is on. Enjoy it, watch it, and Aston Villa hopefully will prevail. And if you're into praying, now would be a good time for the next 44 minutes to have a good old pray to maybe help Aston Villa along the line as well. But we will see you at about just before 10 o'clock tonight. And in the meantime, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.